I saw you on YouTube. Obviously, I'm recording.
Sorry?
I said, obviously, I'm recording, Captain.
Yeah, no, that's okay. How are you?
I'm all right. Nathan,
Good to see you.
Nathan Cox.
Hi, Mike Snawder.
Yeah, I know some of them anarchists in the cop watch. I'm involved in a similar organization, and I don't really like how they conduct themselves. But this is the organization.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what? There's I understand the concept of wanting to make sure that police officers do what they're supposed to. You know,
right?
That I'm all for it. As long as everyone understands that it's not all of them, and it's going to be a relatively small percentage. You know, I'm all for it, and I try to convey that to anyone who at least represents that that's what their mission is.
Right.
And I also want to make myself available if they have instances where cops have done something that they aren't supposed to, then I want to make myself available so they can share it with me, you know?
Yeah.
What I don't understand is when people have the video cameras and all they do is, for instance, go up to one of my officers and say, what's your name and badge number? And then the officer's like, well, this is the 100th time you've asked,
right?
You know, and they're like kind of annoyed,
right?
And then that person will go to one of my supervisors and say, Officer so-and-so, naming them by name, refuses to give me their name. You know, it just doesn't make sense. So is there intent to harass the police officers, or is there intent to be a checks and balance to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to?
Right.
You know, and then the other thing that makes me question some groups is why would you pick and choose the times that you are videoing the police officers? Why wouldn't you be willing to go anywhere within the city to film police officers? Doesn't that make sense? Why do you pick certain events only?
Yeah.
Not you.
You're right.
All right. Hello, sir.
Hello. How are y'all?
Good.
I've happened upon an accident.
Yeah, I film all my interactions with the police. I just had some friends get arrested for selling lemonade a couple weeks ago, and the cops just said, we're just doing our job.
Right.
And I asked the cops, I said, well, sir, I said, if segregation laws were still on the books today, would you enforce them? I said, you know, black people back in the day couldn't use public buses or bathrooms, would you enforce those laws? And a black officer told me he would. He later told me on camera that he would lock up anybody to keep his six-figure job.
You're kidding me? Where was this?
This was this was Capitol Police in DC. And
wow.
We just...
I was making six figures.
Yeah. So we just, I mean, the cop watch anarchists that y'all are familiar with, I don't really even know them too much. I just heard about them a couple months back. I'm all about peace and non-aggression.
Sure.
And I don't believe there are obviously all these politicians that are kind of legislating our lives away.
Right.
And I think as an oath taker like yourself, just like I'm a veteran. I took the same oath y'all did.
Thank you for your service.
And so we have the same oath in the sense that we swore to protect and uphold the Constitution. And a lot of these laws are unconstitutional. I believe that police have a duty to use discretion on these laws that they uphold.
Right.
But
do you also at the same time lobby the legislature to make those laws changed?
I do.
I
do, but unfortunately that process doesn't seem like it's correctable.
Right.
And in situations where there's no victim, I don't believe it should be a crime. I believe that there should only be laws that if I hurt you or your property, boom, there should be a repercussion for that.
Right.
But if I'm driving down the street going 80, or if I smoke a joint, or if I pick up a prostitute, or whatever,
victimless offenses.
Yeah, victimless offenses. I'm against victimless crime.
Right.
And all I try to do is just do outreach to police officers to get them to realize that they have an oath that they need to keep to the Constitution.
Right.
They need to be peaceful when it comes to arresting people. They shouldn't be using violence against peaceful people, and stuff like that.
Right.
So.
You shouldn't use more force than is necessary to effect the arrest. Right.
And
I'm just curious. What are your thoughts? Do you believe that most police officers are good, decent people, or do you believe that the majority of police officers aren't?
They might be morally good people.
Right.
Just like, the military is probably largely morally good people.
Right.
But just like the military, they're put in a position where if these bureaucrats or a president tells them they have to go fight in a war that's unconstitutional, like the 2 wars we're in now, they've got to go do it. So y'all are in a position. Y'all are in a position where there's all these laws that have been passed, and y'all are supposedly in a position where you have to uphold them.
Right.
And so that's the kind of outreach I do.
No, I hear you.
You know,
I don't got nothing against you. That's great. I'm glad I met you.
I actually,
do you think that? I guess I asked the question wrong. What do you think that there are some cops who are corrupt?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then out of the total number of police officers, if you had to guess, what percentage would you say are corrupt?
Well, corrupt is a pretty vague word in my opinion. When it comes to corruption, you could talk about a cop, you know, arresting somebody with a pound of coke and then keeping it for himself, or you could be talking about somebody who just doesn't simply keep his oath to the Constitution. And a lot of people would say that that's not corrupt. Right. But when cops, I mean, in my opinion, all that happens in courtrooms and policing is a lot of extortion and kidnapping.
How about
to be just plain truthful?
Sure, I hear you. How about like dirty cops? Let's use the example of that you said, the person that seizes the drugs or the money and that keeps them. What percentage would you say, or would you think, are cops like that?
Cops like that? I would hope no more than 10%.
Okay.
I would hope. Right. You know? But I know it's out there, and in different states it's more prevalent than others.
There's going to be more in there's going to be more in different states than others.
But to me, obviously that's a problem, but to me there's bigger issues that need to be faced.
Right.
In my opinion, drugs should be legalized because it doesn't hurt anybody but the person taking the drugs.
Victimless crime.
So
that's why you're for Mr. Paul?
Yes, sir.
Good deal. Well, good to meet you, sir.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, good luck to you.
Appreciate talking to me.
I appreciate you coming up to me. Thank you. I'm going to keep your card.
All righty.